The Rimu fruit is not a fruit in the strict botanical sense, but rather the fleshy, edible receptacle that forms at the base of the seed cone of the ancient Podocarpus lineage, specifically Dacrydium cupressinum, known commonly as the Rimu tree. Found exclusively in New Zealand's temperate rainforests, Rimu is a species that has existed since prehistoric eras, predating flowering plants and representing an evolutionary bridge between ancient conifers and modern fruit-bearing species. Its story is part ecological heritage, part cultural narrative, and part evolutionary marvel. The Rimu tree grows tall, often reaching more than 30 meters in height, with drooping, feathery foliage that distinguishes it among New Zealand forest giants. As a dioecious tree, male and female reproductive structures are carried on separate individuals, meaning fruit production occurs only on female trees. Unlike most modern fruits that develop from flowers after pollination, the Rimu's edible part emerges from a modified cone scale, thickening and becoming fleshy as the seed matures. This slow development cycle can take more than a year from pollination to final ripening. When ripe, the fruit portion is small, typically no more than 1 to 1.3 centimeters, and dominated by a vibrant orange-red or deep golden color. Attached to the end is a hardy seed, dark brown in tone and designed to resist digestion. The flesh surrounding this seed is mild, resinous, slightly sweet, and aromatic, reflecting undertones of pine sap, wild berries, and woody oils. Though the edible part is small, it historically provided important seasonal nutrition, especially during lean months of late summer and early autumn. Māori communities understood the importance of Rimu within broader forest cycles. The maturation of Rimu fruit coincided with the fattening of kakapo, the nocturnal, flightless parrot. When the fruits ripened, kakapo consumed them in large quantities, absorbing the fat-stimulating compounds, and this seasonal shift directly influenced both breeding behavior and ecological movement. This relationship between the fruiting cycle and bird reproduction is one of the most iconic examples of evolutionary dependency in New Zealand ecology. Traditional Māori did occasionally consume the fleshy base, but the seed was considered too hard and bitter to be eaten. Instead, Rimu fruit was gathered, dried slightly, and eaten as minor supplements during seasonal foraging journeys. Its importance was not primarily caloric but symbolic. Rimu trees represented forest strength, medicinal resource, canoe timber, tool construction material, and deity-linked spiritual knowledge associated with ancient landscapes. In the structure of forest succession, Rimu is categorized as a climax species, meaning it dominates mature forests that have reached ecological balance. In early settlement periods, Rimu forests extended across large portions of the South Island and North Island lowlands, mixing with totara, kahikatea, matai, and miro trees. Over centuries, selective timber cutting for durable wood, particularly for beams, structures, and early colonial houses, reduced the density and scale of Rimu stands. Ecologically, Rimu fruit acts as a pivotal feeding signal for not only birds but also rodents, possums, and mustelids introduced later through colonial presence. These invasions disrupted seed dispersal patterns, as rodents consume seeds before germination. Conservation programs now attempt to re-establish stable seed cycles, applying predator reduction strategies in Rimu-dense areas. The nutritional properties of the flesh, though modest, are notable. The fruit contains oils derived from podocarp resin, a small amount of carbohydrate, and traces of vitamin-rich compounds beneficial to immune function and microcellular metabolism. Unlike typical berries, there is no substantial acidity. Instead, its chemistry leans toward volatile aromatic terpenes. These compounds contribute to the aroma profile associated with native bush honey derived from hives near Rimu forests. Modern culinary use of Rimu fruit is extremely limited because of scarcity, forest protection laws, and the difficulties of harvesting at height. However, experimental gastronomists and cultural revivalists have shown interest in reintroducing the fruit in symbolic tasting menus, where tiny amounts serve as cultural storytelling elements. Botanically, Rimu is most remarkable for its evolutionary perseverance. The podocarp family predates flowering plants by tens of millions of years. Whereas citrus, stone fruits, and berries evolved from floral structures, early conifers relied on fleshy-based structures to attract seed-dispersing animals. This lineage offers insight into early methods of ecological reproduction. A fully mature Rimu tree may only produce significant fruiting every 2 to 4 years, creating seasonal irregularity. During strong fruiting years, kakapo populations historically increased, while in weak fruiting years, breeding halted almost entirely. Conservation scientists today monitor these cycles to plan breeding programs, making the Rimu fruit one of the few edible plant structures directly tied to endangered animal reproduction. Walking beneath a Rimu forest canopy today, one experiences acoustic quietness, filtered green light, and a layered organic ground system where seed remnants, bird droppings, lichen, moss, and native ferns form natural carpets. Tattered fruit remains often indicate wildlife presence, especially fertile territories of ground-feeding species. Each fruit fragment becomes part of composting cycles that enrich forest soil. In essence, Rimu fruit stands as one of the smallest yet symbolically richest edible wild structures of New Zealand, its size modest, but its evolutionary, ecological, and cultural importance enormous. Just a few grams of edible flesh unlock lessons about ancient biodiversity, ongoing conservation work, Māori heritage, prehistoric reproduction cycles, and how planetary change affects ancestral species.